Hello, it's me again. Um, this is the third part of the series of the meat of the scriptures, which is things that's hard to understand in the scriptures. Things that take time and experience to understand. Uh, things that require skill in the scriptures, basically. Basically, things for the mature in the scriptures, man. Those that's got the milk or the basics down pat. You know. So anyway, the topic of the day is reincarnation, which re means back, incarnation. Carnation means the flesh, which means back in the flesh. And reincarnation is a real phenomenon, and it's in the Bible. And today I'm going to prove in the scriptures that reincarnation is a fact. Um, so let's get right into the scriptures. Go to Matthew chapter 11, verse 11, please. That's Matthew chapter 11, verse 11, please. King James Version. And I already got it, so I'm going to read it. This is Matthew chapter 11, verse 11. It says, "Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of woman," so you can see me better. Okay. "There have not risen a greater than John the Baptist, notwithstanding he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he." So the subject is John the Baptist. Okay, let's go to the next verse. "And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force." Right. Okay, let's continue. "For all the prophets and the law prophesied unto John." Continue. And here's the major point. This is what Yahushua said. Matthew 11, verse 14. "And if you will receive it," this is Elijah or Elijah, which was for to come, right? Because Elijah was prophesied to come. And John the Baptist was the reincarnation of Elijah. John the Baptist was Elijah back in the flesh. He was the reincarnation of Elijah, John the Baptist. And it said, if you can receive it, right? Because it's not for everybody to receive it, you know, because it's meat, you know what I'm saying? So, and not everybody, man, can get it, man. But if you can get it, if you can receive it, this is Elijah, which is to come, which was a statement of reincarnation. Okay, let's go to some more proofs in the Bible about reincarnation. Yahweh Shai himself is involved with it. Because Yahweh Shai was King Solomon. King Yahweh Shai was King Solomon. Okay, and I prove it in the scriptures. Go to 2nd Samuel chapter 7, verse 12. Excuse me. 2nd Samuel chapter 7, verse 12. And I got to get it on my phone too. 2nd Samuel chapter 7, verse 12. Okay? This is 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 12. And this is the Most High speaking to David. Because David was a righteous man and he wanted to build a house for the Lord, basically. You know what I'm saying? A temple for the Lord, a house for the Lord, a building for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And okay, so let's pick up the reading. 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 12. And it reads, And when thy days be fulfilled, talking about David, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers when you die, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. Right, this is talking about King Solomon, because Solomon was David's son with Bathsheba, remember? Okay. Uh, Next verse. He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what King Solomon did. And later on, basically, this is what Yahushua is going to do. You know what I'm saying? But it's talking about the same people, same person. Because David couldn't build it. God refused David to build a house for him because he said David was too much of a warrior and had shed too much blood. So that's why he chose King Solomon to build a house for his name. And later Solomon, who was Yahushua, will build a house for the Lord's name, and his throne will be established forever. Because he the King of kings and the Lord of lords. You know what I'm saying? Because in the future in the kingdom, an Israelite man is going to be a king and a priest. The nation of Israel will be a nation of kings and priests. You know what I'm saying? And Yahushua is the king of those kings and the Lord of those lords. He the top man, basically. He the top guy, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Next verse. This is talking about King Solomon, who is who is also Yahushua. Listen to this. Listen carefully. 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 14. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of man and with the stripes of the children of men. Now, who did that happen to? Does King Solomon get chastened by the rod of man and with the stripes of the children of men? No, it was peace in Solomon's kingdom. King Solomon died in peace. You know what I'm saying? King Solomon died in peace. Nobody chastised him with the rod of. He didn't get chastised with the rod of man and with the stripes of the children of Israel. But this happened to Yahushua. This is what happened to him when he came back as Yahushua. And when he was Yahushua, did he commit iniquity? No, he did not. He did not commit. He was perfect when he was Yahushua. But he committed iniquity when he was King Solomon because he had a bunch of women and they made him go off. You know, he had married a bunch of women of all nations, and those heathen women made him go off and start worshiping other gods and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. That's when he committed iniquity. So God got him for that when he was Yahushua. He didn't get that when he was King Solomon. So that's the point. Yahushua was King Solomon in the reincarnation, basically. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep reading. fact, next verse. But my mercy shall, this is 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 15. But my mercy shall not depart away from him as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. Verse 16. And thine house and thine kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever. Right, this hasn't came to pass yet. This is talking about in the kingdom. Right now on the earth ain't no such thing as King Solomon or King David's throne. There's nothing that exists right now in the world like that. This is talking about in the future kingdom, that in the everlasting kingdom, David's throne um, shall be established forever. So that's what it means. This is future prophecy. So yeah, that's the main point. So I hope you can get that. That's the main point. That Yahweh Shai was King Solomon. You know what I'm saying? And the main point for that is in 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 14. I'll read it one more time. This is 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 14. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, this is talking about King Solomon, I will chasten him with the rod of man and with the stripes of the children of men. This is what happened to this didn't happen. But this didn't happen to uh, Yahushua. I mean, this didn't happen to King Solomon when he was King Solomon. He died in peace. Nobody chastised him, even though he did commit iniquity as King Solomon, going off with the women and worshiping the other gods and stuff, committing idolatry basically. He committed idolatry. Uh, this punishment got played out on him when he was Yahushua. Because then when he was Yahushua, he was perfect, but we all know what happened to him. He was beaten and uh, mocked by the Romans, spit on and all that, a crown of thorns put on his head. He was basically tortured by Esau, by the Romans, and they crucified him. Nailed him on the cross, with nails and stuff, and crucified him, and then pierced him in his side. Man. That's what the Romans did, man. So, okay, and speaking of that, let's go to the next um, proof of reincarnation. When they deal with the high priest that condemned Yahweh to the Romans, basically. You know what I'm saying? This was go to Mark chapter 14. This is when he was in front of the high priest Caiaphas, who condemned him to the Romans. Um, him and the Levites at that time, scribes and Pharisees. Uh, go to Mark chapter 14, verse 61. Okay, Mark chapter 14, verse 61. Okay, um, let's see, King James version. Okay, but he Yahushai. This is Mark chapter 14, verse 61. Um, it says, "But he held his peace and answered nothing. Again, the high priest asked him and said unto him, Art thou the Christ, or the anointed one?" You know what I'm saying? The Mashiach, the son of the blessed. Next verse. And Jesus or Yahushua said, I am. And then look what he say. And he said, you shall see, talking to the priest, and ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. Right, because we already know that the Lord returning in the clouds with the angels. Because they returning in so-called UFOs, so-called spaceships. And he said to the priest that condemned, before the priest condemned him, he told that the high priest that you gonna see me when I return. This haven't happened yet. This is future prophecy. So how can that priest see him return unless that priest be back on the earth when he return? Because that priest will be back on the earth when he returns. Because that priest is on the earth right now. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna see Yahweh when he return. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's prophesied. So that was a statement of reincarnation right there. He said, basically saying to the high priest that before he condemned him, the one that did condemn him to the Romans, and eventually led to his death and crucifixion. He said, "You dudes, you're gonna see me when I return." Basically, you know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. So that's a statement of reincarnation. Ain't no way that man, that priest can see him return in the future unless he be reincarnated back on the earth in the flesh, back in the flesh. So I hope you can understand that and get that. So that's plain, man. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And let's go to the final verse of today's lecture, which is another statement of reincarnation. If you can understand it, if you can receive it. Go to Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. You know what I'm saying? Revelation, this is Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds. That's talking about him coming back with the angels in the spaceships. And every eye shall see him. Right. The sky, when the Lord return, he going to be in a mothership. And the angels, he going to have a numerable amount of angels in the spaceship. And they gonna be all in the sky. And everybody that's alive at that time, we going to see the spaceships all in the sky, man. You know, whoever is alive at that time, they gonna see all them spaceships and because the whole sky is gonna be full of them. They gonna be like a plague, basically, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be they just gonna be full. It's gonna be full of them in the sky. They gonna be a numeral an unnumerable amount, man. You know what I'm saying? And every eye shall see him, and they also, now this is the point, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. Right. The point is, they also which pierced him. The ones that pierced him when he the guys that pierced him, the Roman soldiers that pierced him when he was on the cross, those dudes gonna be back in reincarnation too. And you can imagine what's gonna happen to them. You don't wanna be those dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna get their payback for what they did for piercing him. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is. So anyway, man, I hope you understood and learned something from this lecture. And I'll be back again with the last part of the biblical summary series. Uh, So until then, I'll see you. All right, bye.